High in the Himalayas, nestled among snow-capped peaks, lay the hidden valley of Shangri-La. It was a land of emerald meadows, sparkling rivers, and ancient forests. The people were known for their kindness and simple living. For generations, they had been ruled by a lineage of wise and just kings. The current ruler, King Sukendra, was beloved by all. He and his queen, Rani Padmavati, had longed for an heir. On a night when the moon bathed the valley in an ethereal glow, Rani Padmavati gave birth to a son. The entire valley rejoiced. The prince was named Yukesh, meaning conqueror of mountains.
Our prayers have been answered, my queen. Our son will bring a new era to Shangri-La.
The birth of Yukesh was not just the arrival of an heir, but the dawn of a new era for Shangri-La. From a young age, Prince Yukesh displayed an exceptional spirit. He possessed a sharp mind, always eager to learn. He would spend hours in the palace library, poring over ancient texts and scrolls. His tutors, renowned scholars from across the land, were amazed by his thirst for knowledge. He excelled in his studies, mastering languages, history, philosophy, and the art of warfare. Yet Yukesh was not confined to the walls of the palace. He possessed a courageous heart that yearned for adventure. He would often slip away from his attendants, exploring the nearby forests and climbing the foothills of the Himalayas.
There is so much to learn and explore beyond these palace walls. The world is full of wonders and challenges.
These qualities endeared him to the people, making him not just a prince, but a beloved figure in the hearts of all. As Yukesh grew older, he felt a deep sense of responsibility towards his people. He would often leave the palace, disguised as a commoner, to experience life beyond the palace walls. He traveled across the valley, visiting remote villages and bustling towns, listening to the concerns of his people. He saw poverty and hardship firsthand, which strengthened his resolve to serve his people and make their lives better.
Your struggles are my struggles. I promise to work towards a better future for all of us.
Yukesh believed that a true leader's strength lay not just in power, but in compassion and understanding. These journeys were valuable lessons in leadership and empathy. He learned that a true king is not one who rules from an ivory tower, but one who walks among his people. King Sukendra watched his son grow with immense pride. He was heartened to see Yukesh's dedication to the kingdom and his genuine concern for its people. Sukendra believed that Yukesh possessed the qualities of a great ruler: wisdom, courage, compassion, and a deep sense of justice. He knew that one day, Yukesh would make a fine king. Sukendra made it a point to involve Yukesh in the matters of the kingdom. He would often invite his son to attend court hearings, council meetings, and diplomatic visits.
Yukesh, these experiences will guide you in becoming a wise and just ruler. Learn from my triumphs and my failures.
Thank you, Father. Your wisdom and guidance mean the world to me.
The bond between father and son deepened over the years, evolving from king and prince to mentor and student, and so the legacy of Shangri-La continued, with a new generation ready to lead with love and wisdom. Word of Yukesh's kindness and wisdom spread far and wide. People began calling him Yukesh, son of the Himalayas, a title that went beyond his royal lineage. It signified the deep respect and admiration they held for their prince.
I am deeply honored by the love and respect of my people, but I must always remember that my true purpose is to serve them.
Yukesh, in turn, never let the praise affect him. He remained grounded, always remembering that his true purpose was to serve his people. He used his growing influence to implement reforms that benefited the common man. He improved the kingdom's irrigation system, ensuring a steady supply of water for farmers.
By improving our irrigation and trade, we can ensure that every family prospers and our kingdom thrives.
Yukesh also reformed the kingdom's judicial system, ensuring swift and fair justice for all. The Valley of Shangri-La, however, was not immune to the shadow of sorrow. A place once filled with joy and prosperity now faced an unprecedented calamity. A sudden and mysterious illness befell King Sukendra, catching everyone off guard. The best healers from across the land were summoned, but their efforts proved futile. Despite their knowledge and skills, they could not halt the king's rapid decline. The king was fading fast, his strength waning with each passing day.
My son, I have done all I can for our kingdom. My time is ending, but your journey is just beginning. Now it is your time to lead. You must be strong and wise.
The news of the king's illness cast a pall over the entire kingdom. The people were gripped by a profound sense of loss and uncertainty. People prayed fervently for his recovery, but fate had other plans. Their hopes were dashed as the king's condition worsened. King Sukendra breathed his last, leaving his kingdom and his beloved son in mourning. The entire realm was plunged into grief.
My dear Yukesh, I cannot bear to live without your father. The pain is too great to endure. As our tradition demands, I shall join him in death. It is the only way I can find peace.
Queen Padmavati, heartbroken by her husband's demise, decided to join him in death. Yukesh was devastated, his world shattered.
I have lost everything dear to me, but I must carry on for the sake of our people. Their future depends on my strength and resolve.
The weight of the world suddenly fell upon his young shoulders. He had to navigate the kingdom through this dark time. He was to be crowned king, but his heart was heavy with grief. The burden of leadership was immense, yet he knew he had to rise to the occasion. Yukesh retreated into himself, overwhelmed by immense grief. The loss of his parents, particularly his mother's self-immolation, left him deeply scarred and broken.
I questioned my ability to lead, plagued by self-doubt and the fear of failure.
For weeks, he remained secluded in his chambers, shunning all contact with the outside world. But the people of Shangri-La needed their king. They rallied around their young prince, offering him their unwavering support.
Slowly, I emerged from the depths of my despair.
His friends, his advisors, and most importantly, the love of his people became his pillars of strength.
I knew I couldn't erase the pain, but I could choose to honor my parents' memory by being the best king I could possibly be.
The day of Yukesh's coronation dawned bright and clear, a symbol of hope amidst the recent sorrow. The people of Shangri-La gathered in the palace courtyard, their faces a mix of grief and anticipation.
As I ascended the platform, the weight of the crown settled upon my head, a physical reminder of the immense responsibility I now carried.
The kingdom rejoiced their young king, a beacon of hope in uncertain times. Yet the festive mood was short-lived. News arrived from the borders. The neighboring kingdom of Malgad, envious of Shangri-La's prosperity, was amassing an army at their frontier. They had long coveted the riches of the valley and saw an opportunity in their moment of vulnerability.
The joy of the coronation was replaced with a palpable tension. I faced my first true test as ruler.
War was looming, and the fate of the kingdom rested on Yukesh's shoulders. King Yukesh, young but resolute, rallied his advisors with a determined spirit that belied his years.
The situation is dire. Malgad's army outnumbers ours significantly, and their forces are well-equipped and battle-hardened.
A wave of fear swept through the kingdom, but Yukesh stood firm, his resolve unshaken by the looming threat. He refused to let fear cripple his judgment, knowing that clear-headed leadership was crucial. He studied maps meticulously, consulted with his generals, and devised a strategy that could turn the tide of battle.
We cannot engage in a direct confrontation. Our strength lies in the terrain, the treacherous mountain passes, and the swift-flowing rivers. These natural barriers will be our greatest allies.
Yukesh decided to use these natural defenses to their advantage, turning the landscape into a formidable ally. He would fight a defensive war, wearing down the enemy and exploiting their weaknesses, using every natural obstacle to his benefit.
We should fortify the key passes and set traps in the dense forests. The enemy is unfamiliar with our terrain, and this will be our advantage.
He deployed his troops strategically, fortifying the key passes and setting traps in the dense forests, ensuring every move was calculated.
We will fight with the courage of our ancestors. Shangri-La will stand strong, and our legacy will endure.
The enemy, unfamiliar with the terrain, would be at a disadvantage, struggling against the elements and the strategic traps laid by Yukesh's forces. Yukesh's strategy was set, and the kingdom prepared for the impending battle, every soldier ready to defend their home with unwavering resolve. The Malgad army, confident in their overwhelming numbers, marched into the valley with a sense of invincibility. They were met with fierce resistance from the determined defenders of Shangri-La. Shangri-La's soldiers, defending their homes and families, fought with unwavering courage and relentless determination. The narrow mountain passes, familiar to the defenders, became deadly traps for the invaders. Avalanches were triggered, sending torrents of rocks raining down, while ambushes from hidden positions decimated their ranks.
Stand strong, men, for our homes, for our families, for everything we hold dear.
King Yukesh, leading from the front with unwavering resolve, inspired his men to fight with all their might. His strategic brilliance and unmatched courage became the stuff of legends, tales that would be told for generations. After weeks of intense and grueling fighting, the Malgad army, demoralized and severely depleted, retreated in disarray. The victory was hard-won but decisive, a testament to the bravery and resilience of Shangri-La's people. The Valley of Shangri-La was safe once more, thanks to their young king's exceptional leadership and the unyielding courage of its people.
We have done it, my king. The valley is safe, and our people can live in peace. This victory belongs to all of us, united in our struggle and triumph.
The kingdom erupted in joyous celebration. Yukesh had proved himself to be a worthy successor to the throne, a beacon of hope and strength.
I will rule wisely and justly, always remembering the sacrifices made to protect our beloved valley and its people.